singing with that purple Power Ranger in my Benz. It's a Jeep, but I'm gonna get it. I'm still rocking when I visit. Don't you dig into it deeper than that?
Hi, ladies.
It's a long time coming.
Good morning. You already know today's topic, how to be a baddie. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, but say good morning. Say where you're from in the chat. Like the chat. Go ahead and like the chat, ladies. Oh, and get a notebook. Get a pen. Camille, good morning. Yes, you did catch a live, girl. We just get started. Go ahead and like it. Get a notebook. Get a pen. We're going to give it 2 more minutes because we're going to be dropping some gems. We're going to be dropping some gems today. Camille, I'm dead. You're in my life. Memphis. What's up, girl? I've never been to Memphis before, but tell me if I should go. Okay. I'm dead, Camille. Oh my gosh, you know Miami is one of my favorite cities. Girl, next time I'm there, I'm hitting you up. Vegas! I've only been to Vegas once for the Usher concert. Lit. New Jersey! You're my neighbor, girl. Hey. Hey, Colorado. Girl, I don't think I've ever been there. I want to be you when I grew up. Atlanta's a hoot. I used to love Atlanta, but these days, I don't know. I went to MCK Kitchen. Is that where the girls go? Is that the right place to be? Oh, Miami. I need to take a trip to Dallas. I heard that's where the gentlemen with the coin are at. All right. Let's get started, lady. Y'all got pen and paper? Say yes. Okay, let's go ahead. The reason I wanted to do this live today is because I think being a baddie has been co-opted to mean being beautiful. And it is so much more than that. And today I'm going to break down step by step what it means to really, we're going to say BB, a baddie B. What it really means to be a baddie. Being beautiful should be the least exciting or interesting thing about you. You are going to step on next this year, okay? Okay? We are going to eat the girls up this year, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it and what you need to do in order to change your physical, your mental, your spiritual well-being in order to ensure that you are being the highest, best, most intriguing, dynamic version of yourself. So we're going to take notes. I'm going to answer your questions at the end. I just want to get through it all, and then we're going to answer questions. But keep liking the live. And also, for those who follow me on TikTok, there is an ebook in my bio. Click the link. It is free ebook, and a lot of these tips are in that ebook as well. If you don't want to, take, there's going to be some notes in here too that you're going to want to take, but there'll also be a lot of these tips in there. So the first thing, ladies, that I want you to do, write this down, is to get a wellness wheel. I want you to Google wellness wheel. Because a lot of us are jumping into the physical component of a glow up. A lot of us are like, okay, let me get my hair done. Let me get a BBL. Let me do this. Let me get my nose job. And then you wonder why your outcomes are exactly the same. I don't know if you've ever seen like a woman who has lost a lot of weight. I don't know if you've ever seen a woman who like got a bunch of plastic surgery and she still moves through the world the same way that she did before she lost all of the weight or before she got surgery or before she leveled up in some aspect of her life. If you have seen that before, then you know what I'm talking about. Oftentimes you have to change your self-concept, your self-schema in order to net new outcomes. So what I want you to do is, one, get a wellness wheel. Google wellness wheel. And wellness wheel is essentially the components of your well-being. So it is career, it is physical, it is relational, it is financial. It is an entire wheel of the components of your well-being. I want you to look at all of those components of your well-being and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. You are going to need a day to do this section of the glow up. Take a day, take a Sunday, and write out all the components of your well-being, rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. There are probably going to be 2 to 3 that are less than a 5. It might be social, for example. You are going to write down why your social life is not a 10, And once you write down why your social life is not a 10, I need you to make a plan of action of what it would look like to be a 10 and what steps you are going to take. So let's say your social life is a 4. Your social life is a 4 because you come home from work every day and you go and watch Love Island. And you maybe text 3 people and then you scroll on TikTok for 5 hours. That is why your social life is at a 4 right now. So you're going to make a plan of action and say, I'm going to call 3 friends this week. I am going to join a junior board. I'm going to find a social mentor, and I am going to pick up a hobby that I love. So that is your plan of action for the next month that you have to execute on. After you do that, I want you to write out your saboteurs. I want you to write out everything that is going to come in the way of you getting to that 10. So if you know that work is crazy this week, then maybe that's a saboteur, my work schedule. If you know you don't have money, so you don't know if you're going to be able to invest in a hobby, that is one of your saboteurs. So I want you to anticipate everything that is going to come your way that is going to prohibit you from getting a 10. And then you're going to create a plan of action incorporating those saboteurs. Okay, are we following? Like if we're following. So that is step 1. We need to excavate. We need to figure out what is stopping you from being your best version of yourself. Step 2. You need to change your self-schema. There is an incredible book called Psycho-Cybernetics. And this book essentially outlines, he was a plastic surgeon, the author was a plastic surgeon, and he would do surgery on these women. And they would get a nose job, maybe they would get implants or something like that. And on the outside, they did not look dramatically different. Maybe like their nose, like maybe they had a little bit of a bump in their nose and he just took the bump off. But what he noticed, and he became a social psychologist after he was a plastic surgeon for a couple decades, is that they began to change how people perceived them. Therefore, they moved through the world differently. And it's okay if you just got here, ladies and gentlemen, we just started, we just got into the good stuff. So your self-schema directly correlates to how other people engage with you. So he found a car salesman. He did surgery on this car salesman. The car salesman got a nose job. A man got this nose job, and his car sales increased 3 times. When he came in for his 1-year rhinoplasty check, his sales increased 3x. His nose, he barely looked differently. But what changed is how he viewed that people were engaging with him. And so once your self-concept changes, once your self-schema changes, then everything around you, your entire world begins to change. And the book is called Psycho-Cybernetics. Psycho, and then cybernetics, Cybernetics. So let's say if your self-schema is poor, if you do not feel good about yourself, if you're constantly thinking, I'm unattractive and people hate me, and you're moving through the world with that self-schema, when random events happen to you, let's say someone pushes you on the subway, you're going to be like, see, this is another proof point. People don't like me. But if you're like, everyone is magnetized towards me, people love me, I'm just so beautiful, people can't help. When someone pushes you on the subway, it's going to be like, see, that's another proof point. People are just so magnetized towards me. People can't help but be in contact with me. So same exact things will happen in your life, but how you begin to process them, how you begin to relate to the things that are happening in your life will be so different. So I say all that to say, the first 2 things that you want to do on this glow up journey, forget getting a BBL, girl, forget getting a rhinoplasty. Those things can wait. You need to ensure that your mindset, how you perceive yourself and how you perceive other people perceive you, that's even more important, changes first before you start thinking about all of that frivolous, superficial stuff. Because you can get all of the lipo and the typo and and if you still view yourself in the same ways, your life outcomes will not change. I don't know if you've ever seen some girls who get all the surgery down and they're still living the exact same way before. It is because they have not changed their self-concept. They view themselves in the exact same way. Okay, you got some ideas for my ebook, girl. Set them on over. Okay, so I want y'all, second piece of homework I need y'all to do. Get a vision board. Go on Canva, get a vision board. And I want you to vision out the highest version of yourself. And I want you to get specific. So I want you to figure out, what does she wear? How does she spend her free time? Who does she hang out with, etc.? I want you to really figure out who this like highest version of self. Envision her and write out everything from how she spends her free time, what her hobbies are, etc. And I want you to create monthly vision boards as well. Okay? That is your homework. Highest self monthly vision boards. And I want you to start emulate and move through the world as though you are that version of you, your highest self. Following? Okay, go ahead and like the chat, like the chat. The first part of your glow up journey, ladies, and maybe there's some gentlemen in here too. First part of your glow up journey, I want you to start on the physical plane. The physical plane is incredibly important for you to start on because you get instant gratification. So do the mental work first, but as you're starting to like overhaul things, I want you to start on the physical plane first. Because I've had friends or people who have listened to my advice, they get their teeth done, or maybe they start investing in their wellness, and you get that instant feedback loop. People start relating to you differently almost immediately. So start focusing on your physical glow up first, because things like relational, spiritual, financial, that's gonna take a year plus. You can get your hair changed tomorrow. You can, start working out tomorrow and see huge benefits or differences by month 2, 3. So I want you to focus physical first. And the 4 quadrants of your physical glow up: body, skin, teeth, hair. Say it with me: body, skin, teeth, hair. Focus on those 4 areas, and those areas will net the biggest difference for you. If you focus on walking 10,000 steps, going to a dermatologist and figuring out what's going on with the skin, I'm not a fan of veneers. I think a lot of y'all are getting veneers unnecessarily, but if you get, teeth whitening or alignment or whatever, and you figure out a hairstyle that likes you back, your physical glow up, that's all it takes. All of this like extra cosmetic surgery stuff, if you just look biologically healthy, meaning you are healthy and confident in your body, your hair looks supple, your teeth are aligned and look healthy, and your skin looks healthy, that is all it takes for you to be a baddie. Truly, all that cosmetic stuff is all extra. Do it if you want to, but those things are really the crux of what makes someone attractive. Those things. The number 1 tip I can give y'all, if you don't know where to start on your glow up journey, write this down. Figure out who your celebrity doppelganger is. Figure out who your celebrity doppelganger is, and that will inform all of your style choices. So when I cut my hair, I found 3 or 4 women who a lot of people said I look like. I got it every single day. And I took note of who they were. Drop your celebrity doppelganger in the chat if you have one. Those ladies always looked good with dark hair and hair pulled back or braids. Those women always looked good. So the one that I get all the time, Megan Good. The other one, Miss Carrie Baby. And I also looked at Jordan Woods. I'm not saying I look like them. We both have long chins and high cheekbones and around the same similar complexion type. Don't fry me in the chat, y'all, okay? I'm not saying I'm Megan Good, but I'm just saying we have similar face shapes. So those women informed what I was able to do in terms of facial features. Oh, Ryan Destiny, that's a good one. Girl, Ryan Destiny, a little baddie. Sweetie's a good one. Gabrielle, oh, yes. Lotto, oh, these are good ones. Yeah, y'all are lucky. So whatever they are doing, copy it. That is your blueprint. Literally, you have a blueprint for you of how you should wear your hair, how you should wear your makeup, what colors. They have an entire team who does this work for them, right? They have stylists who will sit there and do color analysis for them, that do their makeup for them, you have the blueprint. Just look at who people say you look like. And okay, I noticed she always wears red. I noticed she always has blonde hair. I noticed she always wears a bob. She has millions of dollars. She has invested time to figure out what looks. Her job is to look good. Copy it. So you shouldn't copy. Figure out your own style. Do whatever works for you. But I'm saying if you don't know where to start, you have a blueprint. Go ahead and use that as an opportunity, and then play with it. Look, I'm not saying I dress exactly like Megan Good. I'm not saying I wear the same makeup, or Megan Good doesn't have but I knew that short hair would look good. So use that. Because let me tell y'all, I'm 32. And so when I was in my 20s, the big thing was like that curly girl movement, you know, like the big curly hair, 3C curly hair. Let's be clear, because not all curly hair was appreciated in the same ways. But that 3C curly hair that was blonde, that was what everyone was obsessing over. So I used to wear wigs, weaves. I used to like figure out ways to curl my own natural hair to get it to look 3C, dye it blonde, all of that. I used to do that because that was what was widely popular. That was a style that looked horrible on me. It was not my best look. So whatever is popular in the cultural zeitgeist does not mean that it looks good for you. So just because it's popular doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Find things that like you back. And the best way to find something that likes you back is to see what people who look like you, who have spent millions of dollars trying to figure it out, also work. Yes, curly hair would weigh down my face. I looked insane with curly hair. Okay, ladies, so go ahead and let's repeat after me. What are the 4 quadrants that you need to focus on? Basic upkeep, body, skin, teeth, hair. If you get a hairstyle that looks right on you, and not only a hairstyle that looks right on you, a hairstyle you can maintain. That's the other thing. If your hair only looks good one day a week, that's not the hairstyle for you. If you get a bust down jet black 30 inches and it looks good one day a week, Saturday, the day that you get it, sorry sis, it's not it. If you look insane by Monday, it's not it for you, girl. So you have to find a hairstyle, not only that looks good, but one that you can maintain and that looks good on day 5. So body, skin, body, walk your 10,000 steps. I try to walk home from work. It's about 4 or 5 miles at least once or twice a week. I have taken up a new hobby of boxing. I am do what you need to do to have a healthy lifestyle. And this is not weight specific. I want to be very clear that this is not about weight. This is about feeling good and confident in your body. So the girls are out here walking 10, 13, 14, 15,000 steps a day. Walk home from work once a week. Walk home from work twice a week. Join a walking club with your homegirls. Do something. Get them feet moving. That's all you really need to focus on. Skin, go to a dermatologist. I'll go through some skincare tips in a second, but go to a dermatologist. Go to a professional. I love estheticians, but you need to go to, I think they're great for upkeep. But if you have an issue, I have rosacea. I did not know I had rosacea. So an esthetician is not going to be able to tell me that. They might be able to. Look, I'm not going to say that across the board, but you want someone who specializes in skincare treatments and being able to diagnose you and also be able to give you a prescription if you need it. So go to a dermatologist, figure out what's going on with the skin, wear sunscreen every day. Teeth, go ahead and get that Invisalign. Go ahead and get them braces. I love Crest White Strips, and I love TheraBresh Whitening Mouthwash. That mouthwash, in a week, your teeth will be instantly whiter. Floss, use a tongue scraper, okay? Basic hygiene. Do those things, you will see how much better you do those things consistently every day wear your retainer every day for 3 months. Get your teeth whitened or whiten your teeth or use that mouthwash every day for 3 months. Walk them 10,000 steps every day for 3 months. Drink your water. Stop drinking all that liquor. That's why your face is bloated. All that sugar. That's why your face is bloated. And I'm also talking to myself here. I'm not yelling at y'all. I'm yelling at myself. Cut that out for 3 months. Look how different you look. I'm telling you, ladies. And find a hairstyle that works for you. You will not be able to recognize yourself in 3 months. TheraBreath mouthwash. So I'm saying all of this with love, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all in here, but I'm yelling at myself. Liquor, the reason you can't lose the fat on your stomach, liquor. The reason your face is bloated, talking to myself again, liquor. The reason why I've seen these girls who stop eating sugar for 2 weeks, face snatch. Liquor and sugar is killing you. Okay, so we got that. Now we need to talk about wardrobe. Because this is where a lot of y'all ladies, I'm going to lose some of y'all, but y'all need to step on necks when it comes to dressing. And some of y'all just touching necks, but you need to step on these necks, okay? First and foremost, how to stop with the social drinking. Girl, start drinking mocktails. Start drinking mocktails. Well, I'll answer questions at the end. First and foremost, you do not know how to dress to save your life. See, the first step is awareness. And I like a girl like you because at least you know. The worst thing is when someone's like, oh, I be dressing down. No, you don't. Anyways, find your style avatar, first and foremost. So there are a few style avatars that I like to look at. There's like the Baddie avatar. The Baddie avatar is like a Lori Harvey. She is someone who's going to give you a YSL jumpsuit, but also like a Kelly bag. That's my personal style avatar. I don't know if you think of anyone else. Who else do you think is like a Baddie style avatar? Lori Harvey. Beyonce's a pageant girl style avatar. Who else is like, I can't really think of it. Who else? Oh, KNC Beauty. Martha Stewart. That's exactly right. KNC is a great. Oh, no. Marjorie Harvey actually comes into another style avatar for me. But KNC Beauty is a great one. She is Chloe Bailey. Yeah. I suppose. I don't really know what Chloe Bailey's style is. But yeah, KNC is a great one. I think she's a great one. Okay, so that's the Baddie avatar. There's also the Birkin Mom. The Birkin Mom it's almost like the Upper East Side girl. That's another one. That's like, Birkin Mom to me is like Sophia Richie. She's going to give you full ready-to-wear Chanel. She's going to give you a little Chanel tweed suit. It's going to be like very Ralph Lauren, Polo-esque. I don't know if that's my kind of girl, but she's going to give you a cute little Birkin 30. That's Sophia Richie. There's also like the Upper East Side girl. And that is like Jasmine Tooks kind of girly. Birkin Mom and Upper East Side girl, they're friends. They're sisters. They live on the same block. Just like one might be wearing a blazer while one is wearing like a cardigan tied around her shoulders. Then there is like the It Girl style aesthetic. Oh, Sandra Shihab. That's a really good one. It Girl aesthetic to me is like a Rihanna. She is sort of like, she's going to be wearing the Miu Miu. She's going to be wearing like a little bit more eclectic, but always on the pulse. She's creating the fashion. That's another It Girl. Eclectic. Some of y'all are eclectic. And I live for an eclectic girl. If an eclectic girl can do eclectic really well, I think JT is actually moving to eclectic. Tiana Taylor is another good eclectic one. Tracee Ellis Ross is eclectic in some ways. She's like a mix of eclectic and like even sometimes a little baddie. JT is moving towards an eclectic style. She's giving you a Rick Owens moment right now. And then there's also like the cool and casual girl. And then there's like the tomboy girl. I think Lori Harvey gives that a lot too sometimes. But whatever, you kind of get the style avatars. And for a curvy girl, you can be any of these. These are not prohibitive to a certain body type. You just have to figure out what works best for you. But essentially, these avatars need to reflect your personal style, your personal brand, who you are, but you also have to be mindful of the spaces that you exist in. Because look, don't be trying to give Baddie in your corporate job. And there's also the corporate girl aesthetic. That's another one. That's going to be your girl who's wearing ALC and Aritzia and that, etc. But think about the places that you spend the most time in. If you are spending the majority of your time at work, look, don't be trying to give Baddie at work. Like, we're trying to keep our jobs. So just be really mindful of where you spend your time, what your personal brand is, and what your aspirational personal brand is. Maybe you're actually more of a Baddie, but you want to be eclectic because that feels more aligned to who you are. Figure out that. Okay, so the first thing for my ladies who don't know how to dress, I'm talking to y'all. Or the ladies who have a wardrobe that does not reflect where they're trying to go, the first thing I want you to do is design a capsule wardrobe. And your capsule wardrobe is statement pieces that you can mix and match and rearrange that will be able to move with you throughout your life. So this will be whether you're in your entry-level job now, and then you become a lawyer, or then you become an MD, or then you become a creative. Your capsule wardrobe will be the wardrobe that moves with you throughout the different versions of your life. So part of your capsule wardrobe, write this down. And another thing that you need to know is you need to learn how to organize your spend. Organize your spend. So y'all are buying 50 million dresses from Zara instead of one really, really good dress from Saks. Organize your spend so you have quality pieces that are staple and you can dress them up and you can dress them down, okay? So the first thing that you want to do, you need a good pair of denim. Good pair of denim jeans. For my ladies who are curvier, buy a good pair of denim jeans, buy them a little bit bigger, and get a tailor. For all of this, they need to be tailored. I like a gold or a goldie, I don't know how you say it. Frame has really great denim. Then I want you to get a pair of trousers. You can get these from Banana Republic, Aritzia, Mango, whatever. You need a good dinner dress. This is a dress that you can wear to if you're invited to a dinner party, if you have an interview, if you are going to work and it's a little bit fancier. I love ALC. You can go to Banana Republic. I love Revolve, has a ton of dresses that you can wear. Yeah, ALC to me has a lot of like the really cute dresses. Let me put y'all onto something. There is a website. I'm hesitant to tell y'all because I don't want y'all running it up, but it's called Nuuly, Nuuly. And don't worry, this live will be on my YouTube. Nuuly, Nuuly. I hate to put y'all on, but y'all are my girls, so I'll tell you. Nuuly has, especially if you go into an office or you want like weekend wear, this dress is actually from Nuuly. It is so cute. This dress, I wouldn't normally have picked something up like this, but I was like, oh, it's cute. $98, you get to rent 6 things and keep them as long as you like. You rent every month 6 items. So now I'm in the office 4 days a week. I don't always know what to wear. So I go ahead and hop on Nuuly and my clothes are there for me. It's $98, the best. Okay, y'all, this dress is cute, right? You got the back out. You can't even see the bottom, but this is something that maybe I wouldn't have bought if I saw it in the store because it's not exactly my type. And what I love about Nuuly is it allows you to try different things outside of your traditional style. If your style is traditionally a baddie, but this is a little bit more eclectic or a little bit more free-flowing, it's an A-line dress like this, you get to try on different style avatars. So Rent the Runway to me is better for formal occasions, but in your day-to-day outfitting your life, I really like Nuuly. Okay, so we got that down. So you know what is part of, you need a dinner dress, you need a good white button-up, a good crisp white button-up. And then if your life necessitates, I don't know what you're doing in your spare time, but if your life necessitates, a good gala dress. You can go on Rent the Runway, you can go on Revolve, Bronx and Banco, Retrofit. I love not Amina Muaddi, Norma Kamali. Those have gorgeous gala dresses. That is what I would recommend to y'all. So a dress, denim, trouser, a good blazer, and a good dinner dress. Those are your statement pieces. Then on top of that, you can get a nice fall jacket. You can get a couple nice blouses. You are going to be able to mix and match. The key to this is you use accessories to completely change that outfit. My favorite accessory is a brooch. A brooch will elevate, get a nice, and it doesn't have to be I have like a Chanel and a YSL brooch, get them on sale. It doesn't have to be $500. You can get it for $100 if you want. Or guess what? Get a non-designer brooch. It's costume jewelry anyways, so get a beautiful statement brooch. This does one of two things. It completely changes the outfit. So before you were wearing a blazer, now you have a blazer with a brooch. It's a totally different look you're giving. A dress with a brooch will totally change the conversation. And when you have a statement brooch, it offers an opportunity for people to have conversation with you. Now when you're at a networking mixer or a networking event, oh my God, that's beautiful. Where did you get that from? So I love a statement brooch. You can get a piece of a belt. I went vintage shopping in Saint-Tropez, and I found this gorgeous 1995 Chanel belt. It doesn't have to be a Chanel belt. It can just be a regular belt. And now you have cinched your blazer waist and it's giving a dress. So you want a capsule wardrobe that fits your lifestyle right now, and then you need to use accessories. Instead of buying 5 different dresses, buy one good dress, and now you can wear a white button-up shirt on the inside of the dress, and now it's a casual dress. Now you put a belt on it. Mix and match and spend your money on quality pieces. You want to look for fabrics like mohair, cashmere, wool, denim. Go to Saks, go to Macy's, and find quality pieces that are made of good material that you can wear forever instead of you can only wear your Zara dress twice before it rips. Ooh, and I'm speaking to myself. Number one thing. Ladies, if you're buying anything expensive, I just bought Tom Ford lock heels about a year ago. Those lock heels are $1,300. Guess what? I spent $600 on them because no one buys anything full price. If you see these girls with Gucci down to the socks, it's very unlikely they bought it full price. One app I love, it's called Lux Hunt app. They will have all of the sales. They will have all of the things that you enjoy. What is it? Saks always has that 50% off sale. Everyone that I know does not buy anything full price. Even though they have the coin to do it, they do not buy anything full price. Never buy things full price. There are a few things that will never go on sale. A Chanel bag is never going to go on sale. A Bottega bag is never going to go on sale. But everything else, even sunglasses, designer sunglasses, use your work. You know how you have insurance through work? That can go towards sunglasses. Never buy anything, them shoes, anything full price. Okay, so we got wardrobe down. Yes, I'm going to save this live on YouTube. Keep liking the live, y'all. Like the live, like the live. And also, a lot of these tips are in the link in bio with my free ebook. The link is in my bio, and you can get a lot of these tips. Now we're going to talk about skin. Because one thing I know about is skin, honey. Skin I know so much about. And it is because I have struggled with my skin before. And I have lived in my dermatologist's office. One of my best friends is a dermatologist. Write these tips down. Number one, do not spend a lot of money on cleanser. Cleansers all do the same thing. A huge issue that I see with a lot of people that I know, a lot of my homegirls, a lot of my friends, a lot of us on the internet, is that y'all are being swayed too much by the brand packaging. And you have a 50-step skincare routine, and that is causing more irritation on your skin. That is actually what is breaking you out, is your 50-step skincare routine. Don't do that. You need to get a Cetaphil, get a CeraVe. You do not need to spend more than $20 on your skin cleanser. It's doing the same thing. It's taking off the makeup. Micellar water to take off the makeup. And then I like an AHA or BHA. I use that twice a week just to remove dead skin cells if you choose. You want some sort of antioxidant, so a vitamin C. Vitamin C breaks me out. Some people really love vitamin C, but vitamin C breaks me out. But SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic is the gold star. Get that on sale. It's extraordinarily expensive. And then you just need a moisturizer and a sunscreen. That is all you need to have. And with the AHA, BHA, and the vitamin C, you don't even use that every day. You just use that maybe once every other day. And then at night, the one thing that you need to get, particularly if you are in your late 20s, early 30s, retinol. Retinol is a thing that is going to help with acne, anti-aging, fine lines, pores, wrinkles. It is only available via prescription, but there are these mail delivery websites like Nurx or those online delivery like platforms like, telehealth, where you can get that for free. So once again, cheap cleanser. You need something to exfoliate, which like an AHA, BHA, whatever. That's not, the things that you really need are just micellar water to take your makeup off. You need a good cleanser that is cheap. You need a good moisturizer if you have dry skin, whatever that looks like. And then you need retinol at night, and you need a sunscreen. If y'all are using these 15-step essences and serums and all of that, it's irritating your skin, it's clogging your pores, it's not good for you. Stop doing all that. For sunscreen, I love Kiehl's. I love Ulta MD. Supergoop breaks me out for some reason, but some people love Supergoop. There's also this really amazing app that I just discovered. It has like a carrot on it, and you can basically scan all of your beauty products and see how comedogenic they are, which means how likely it is to break you out, to see if they have carcinogens. And Supergoop is a really great sunscreen that does not have a lot of those like carcinogens in them. So that's also Yuka app. Yes, the Yuka app. That app will tell you everything that you need to know. I've heard mixed things about it in terms of like you would have to use such a high quantity in order for it to actually be a carcinogen, but use that app to inform you. Okay, and the next thing that I need you ladies to do, write this down. Hygiene. It is summertime. Get your hygiene together. And what you need to do. I know we love those good smelling perfumes and those good smelling like scented Bath and Body Works-esque scrub-a-dub-dub. Those are not cleansing you. Do a double cleanse. First, use a bar soap or something. Hibiclens is another great one. I like to use Hibiclens under my arms, but use a bar soap, like a Dove soap, to do a base cleanse. Do not You are not cleansing if you are using the highly scented soaps. No, that's not actually cleansing. Use a bar soap, base soap. Then go in with your scented. Then go in with your Bath and Body Works, whatever. And I like to stay with one scent profile. So if I'm smelling like vanilla today, I'm going to use a vanilla scented body wash, vanilla scented moisturizer, vanilla undertone, or notes of vanilla perfume, all of that. So bar soap first, or dial, whatever, something that is actually antibacterial. Then go in, I like to go in with an African cloth. It's those long net cloths where you can actually scrub your back with it, with the scented. Then go in with a serum. I like hyaluronic acid. Once you're out the shower, hyaluronic acid serum, good for evening, especially if you have KP on the back of your arms, one of those hyaluronic acids with that scrubber, and then lotion, and then oil. Okay? I love Fenty Buttercream as a lotion. I don't think anything has ever been as moisturizing as Fenty Buttercream. I also love We the People oil. And then I also use body deodorant. I use a brand called Lume, Lume. That is like, you can use it underneath your arms, in any cracks. I also will use glycolic acid and swipe it in all of my crevices to kill a lot of the odor. The odor that you have is actually bacteria that is emitting a smell. So you need to kill that bacteria with glycolic, spray it on your feet, under your arms, and all the crap. Boom. And then find a scent profile that works for you. I like rose scents, so find a scent profile that works for you. Okay, boom. We got through hygiene. I'm trying to move through this so we can get through everything that we need to talk to. I want you to write down the final habits to commit to before we start moving on to the social component of all of this. This is the physical component. I think we're only going to get through physical and social today, but I'll do another live talking about the other aspects of your glow up. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down. You're going to walk 5,000 to 10,000 steps every day. You are going to walk with your water bottle. Where's my little water bottle? I have a water bottle that I carry in the office, and I commit to filling it up 4 times while I'm in the office. You are going to commit to actually doing your skincare routine day and night. You are never too tired to take your makeup off. It is never that serious. Use some micellar water, take off the makeup. Do not use makeup wipes. Do not use makeup wipes. Micellar water, wash your face, put on some moisturizer. Even if that's all you do that. You are only going to drink. I am telling you, if you could find a before and after, before when you never drank, and now when you start drinking 3 times a week, and how different you look, we all would stop drinking. Like, I think drinking is the one thing that makes people raggedy. Drinking makes you raggedy. It's inflammation. It bloats you. It makes you look insane. So I want you to reduce alcohol to 2 times a week if you're drinking a lot more. I know some people who, especially if you live in New York and a lot of your life is like socializing or networking or going out to events, it is very difficult. So only drink on a Saturday. If you're going to brunch with your homegirl, maybe a Sunday, but try and commit to only drinking on the weekends. It makes you look raggedy and tired. The next thing I want you to do is no added sugar during the week. I have an entire pack of cookies in my microwave right now from Chip City because I couldn't eat a cookie all week, so I have that. Only sugar makes you inflamed the same way that alcohol makes you inflamed. If you stop eating sugar and alcohol, your whole face, you know how you want to get that Bella Hadid snatch? That is what will do it. It's inflammation in your body. And then also you want to gua sha your face to reduce some of that inflammation. If you have issues with weight loss, and I am saying this as someone who is not a naturally slim person, it is very difficult for me to lose weight. There are some, genetically, it is very difficult for some people to lose weight. There are things called weight loss clinics that can help you with that. I'm not going to speak too much on it because I'm not a doctor. I don't want to. But there are things called weight loss clinics. There are some people who they are predisposed. Your resting weight is just significantly higher than everyone else. If you struggle, if you're like, I'm doing everything right, I feel like I don't eat a lot, there are people who can support you in that journey. Doctors who can support you in that journey, who can give you a nutrition plan, who can support you through different recommendations, who can give you prescriptions that can support you on your weight loss journey. So listen to that. And then the next thing that I want y'all to do is diary the foods that you eat. I learned this I used to work with some white ladies at Google, and they were snatched. There is no one who can teach you how to glow up like some white ladies who work in HR, because them ladies were always snatched, always with the sickening, massive diamond rocks. And they used to diary what they ate, and then they would take their temperature in the morning. So they would basically go on like a base diet, like a cleanse, and then they would introduce one food group. So they would introduce, like, I remember one lady said she started eating lamb, and she would weigh herself the next morning after she had like a lamb dinner. She would weigh herself and then also use a thermometer. And if her temperature went up like 1 to 2 degrees, and if she weighed like significantly more, like she gained like 3 pounds in a day, what that would tell her is that she had inflammation and that food was causing her inflammation. That is what she told me, y'all. I haven't done it, but I always remember like, oh, that's tea. I never knew that. So she really put me on to how to figure out like what your body needs and how your body responds to that inflammation. So introducing new foods, taking your temperature in the morning, and then taking your weight the next morning. And that will tell you if you're holding too much water weight, if that food is making you inflamed, etc. So something to think about, you know? All right. The last thing I want to talk about this, because I know we getting tired, y'all. I'm getting tired of talking. And I also want to answer your questions. And I want to get into a little bit of social life, because I know a lot of you girlies want to be socialites, but it doesn't quite work like that. But I'm going to tell you how. Go ahead and like this live. Don't forget to like this live, y'all. Don't forget to like this live, because your girl is getting tired, but I'm going to power through to make sure that I give you the information that you need, because I love y'all. Also, a lot of this information is available in my bio. There is a free ebook with a lot of that information, so please check that out in my bio. Okay, so the last thing I want you to remember is that you want a wellness routine that you can commit to. The way that you can commit to a wellness routine is create a system, create community, and make it easy. So creating a system means, and this is also taken from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. So he says you want to create a system of, if you know you want to wake up early in the morning to work out, lay your clothes out on the table before. Or make sure that you, meal prep. That is creating a system. Create community means that you want to do this with friends. The more people that you have invested in that are doing it with you, the easier it will become. And then lastly, make it easy. That's why I say just walk home from work some days, or park super far in the parking lot and walk, or take your lunch break and walk around. Like, do you know how many people leave my office and just walk their entire lunch break? That is what you need to do. Oh. Sorry, my sticky is falling off. Okay. So now let's get into the social component. And okay, message me if you haven't received your ebook. It should automatically send to you as soon as you follow the link in bio. So let's talk about social life. And this is going to be where we close out. Because I see a lot of information on the internet that I am just disappointed by. That's why you can't listen to everybody on the internet. Because these girls are like, if you just sit at a hotel bar, Prince Harry is going to come and just pluck you, and now you're about to be Meghan Markle, and now it doesn't work like that. There is no such thing as you just sitting at a hotel bar and someone completely changing your life. That is not how this thing works. As someone who I see this information all the time, and it angers me so much because these women are sending you astray. That's not at all how it works. As someone who lives in New York and sees and is friends with a lot of these girls who are the socially mobile, who are sitting on all of these boards, it requires work and proximity, and it requires a personal brand. Because even the Ambani wedding, did you guys see the Ambani wedding? The wedding with like the two Indian folks. You know what I'm talking about? The one that Kim Kardashian was at? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Say yes in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Yes. Okay, good. If y'all have seen the Ambani wedding, what y'all don't recognize is that they grew up together. They grew up together. These are not random people who are meeting. There was another prince. He was a really adorable prince. I forget, he was prince of where? He's like Indonesia, Thailand. He was a really, really cute prince. Everyone. He grew up with his fiance. Harry and Meghan Markle. I mean, Meghan Markle is still $1 million actress at the end of the day. So I mean, this was still probably out of the purview of what a royal would traditionally marry, but at the end of the day, she's still a beautiful $1 million actress. So what you need to know is that if you are looking to fundamentally change your life, it requires you. It requires you. And the thing is, yeah, maybe you'll be able to meet someone at a hotel bar, but guess what? These people have families, they have trusts and estates to protect, and if you are just a regular girl, it is very difficult. You have to have the social circle that is compatible with theirs, the friends that is compatible with theirs, the life experiences that are compatible with theirs. So when they're talking about certain things, you know what they're talking about. Like, their family is not going to look at you crazy. You are not going to come to Grandma Mima's 95th birthday in a Saint Laurent jumpsuit and a Birkin bag. And like, you have to know how to dress, how to move, etc., because it's just going to be an uphill battle. So this happens by proximity. This happens by a strong personal brand. Exactly. I believe Disney really did a number on us because we believe that someone will just pluck you out, and these girls are reinforcing it on this here app. It's not true. What you have to do is you have to do the work to level up yourself. Yes, it does give working girl. And that's why I'm like, there are outliers where this may be true. Like, people may end up meeting someone or may end up marrying someone, and they're the loudest ones on the internet. But I'll also be honest with you, a lot of these socialite girlies are not on TikTok. They are not out here giving advice. So that's why you can't listen to the girls who are out here on TikTok espousing advice, because real socialites don't have time for that, or they don't want to be on that. I'm just giving y'all the tea because I love y'all. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that you need to talk about is your personal brand, because that is what is going to, doesn't matter how you feel about yourself. Well, it does matter how you feel about yourself, but if no one else sees that about you, you now are in a silo. So your personal brand does the work of creating evangelists. It allows you to get into certain spaces and rooms and networks and opportunities. So first, think about your personal brand. How would your friends describe you? How would your peers describe you? How would your coworkers describe you? And are those things all consistent? If they are not, you need to do something in order to revamp your personal brand. The second thing I want you to think about, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 unique value propositions that you have. What are these skills, experiences, or expertise that you have that only you can do? You need to figure out what is your zone of genius. What are you inherently gifted at? That is your unique value proposition that you are going to lean all the way into when you're creating a personal brand. I also want you to journal the following. What industry are you in, and what are the roles and responsibilities of your job? What do you do in your free time? How would you describe your online presence? What you post about? If you were to go on your Instagram right now, what are the last 5 things that you posted about? Who are your closest friends? Who do you spend right now? Who are you going to call after this live is done? Who are you going to go to brunch with today? Who are the people that you spend the most amount of time with? Who are your mentors? And how would you describe your personal style? And if those things are not all consistent, your personal brand is out of whack. And people will not know how to engage with you. They will not know what to invite you to. And they will not know what opportunities they should present to you. So if you want to be Amber the socialite, you are likely in PR or in comms. A lot of your job is going to events. Maybe you work at a magazine. Maybe you're a beauty editor. In your free time, you are on a junior board for the School of American Ballet. And your online presence is you being in the south of France, or you at a fundraiser, or you at a networking, a mixer, or you raising money for the Girl Scouts, whatever that is. And your closest friends are also girls that you met through your volunteering efforts. Maybe you went to boarding school with them. And your personal style is Birkin Mom. That gives a cohesive brand. Now I know how to engage with you. Now I know what to invite you to. Okay, we good? We clear? I'm going to answer all the questions at the end, but I hope that makes sense. Go ahead and like the live and check out the link in my bio, etc. 2 more things, and then we're going to be done, and then we're going to go through Q&A. I want you to write down all of these things. This is going to be rapid fire. Take notes right now. Before you go out and want to become a socialite, you have to do pre-work. You have to do pre-work before you just go out there and start kikiing. I know you want to start moving and shaking, but you need to make sure that you have done the foundational work before you go out there. So the first thing I want you to do is improve your public speaking and improve your social skills. You can do that by joining Toastmasters. You can do that by watching YouTube videos. I like Brene Brown. She was the lady who, she had a super viral TED Talk about vulnerability. And now she has, I also listen to a lot of podcasts every morning. Oprah, My Super Soul Sunday is amazing. Melody Hobson is great. Practice with friends. Learn how to debate, but basically improve your public speaking, your cadence, your elocution. You want to learn as you're engaging with people how to make small talk with strangers, all of that. I need you to listen to a current events podcast every morning or night. This does not include pop culture. This does not include social commentary. I want you to be listening to what is happening in the geopolitical sense. I want you, if you are at a networking mixer and someone asks your opinion of why Kamala will be our next president, you have something other than she's lit, she's an AKA, she's my soror. No, you need to be able to talk about things in a meaningful and deep manner, okay? If you're going to start networking, you need to revamp your LinkedIn. You need to update it with a recent headshot, good work experiences, engage with content, post relevant articles, because LinkedIn is almost like the social media currency of networking, particularly if you're networking from a work perspective, okay? If someone asks you, so what do you do or who are you? You need to have an elevator pitch. Do not say, my name is Amber and I work in PR. No, you need to have something super passionate, engaging, that teaches people how to engage with you. So what you're going to do is say, my name is Amber. I am so passionate about helping people tell stories and storytelling. I had my first publication when I was 5 years old. I used to write for the local magazine and have something called the Kids Corner. So ever since then, I've just been really passionate about amplifying underrepresented stories. I just made that up. But being able to tell a story that's so much richer than I just work in comms, I just work in PR. Now people are like, oh my God, tell me more. Or I used to have a column. I used to read your column. There's so much texture that people can grab onto in a conversation. It doesn't leave the conversation flat or stunted. It allows people to now grab onto something or make it's like threads that they can pull on versus just that flat. So be able to have your pitch, okay? Talk about where you're from. And then the next thing that you need to do is anticipate questions that you get in a networking mixer. So if you know you're going to a tech conference, you're going to Afrotech in the fall, people are going to say, where are you from? What company do you work for? What do you do? What do you want to do? You can almost anticipate those questions. Have interesting and compelling answers. If you are going to a Jack and Jill conference, you might get questions about where you're from, like how did you get involved with this organization? Anticipate and then be able to figure out the interesting and dynamic responses that are threads, not dead ends. Allow people to give conversation. If you find that conversation is super awkward and boring, it's because you are flatly answering people's questions. When people say, where are you from? Boston, Massachusetts. Oh, I grew up in Boston. Have you ever been? Or I grew up in Boston, then I went to school in Chicago, and then I live in New York. Can you believe New York is the warmest climate I've ever lived in? You're giving threads for people to pull at versus just flat, okay? We talked about capsule wardrobe. A lot of these socialite spaces, I hate to say it, if you are not coming correct with stepping on folks' necks when it comes to dressing, it is very easy to be siloed. And I'm not saying you have to be wearing the most expensive thing. I'm going to give you real talk. At a lot of these spaces, if we're talking about these very, very niche organizations that are difficult to get into, you have to apply, you have to be recommended, or your legacy, yeah, you got to step on next. They are going to be clocking you from the get-go. Shoes, bags, all of that. I'm not saying that you have to adhere to that, and I'm also saying you can be your authentic self, but I'm also giving you the real tea that no one ever told me. You can't just pull up in a Zara dress and a Steve Madden shoe. It doesn't always work like that, unfortunately. Some of these, especially when we're talking about coastal, Black, fringe organizations, you really got to step on folks' necks. And I hate to tell you that because I don't always think it's fair. Sorry, I have to verify my live to continue. I don't always think it's fair, but life ain't fair. And I hate to say it, I don't want to be a perpetuator of Black elitism, but I also don't want you to walk into these spaces and be like, why is no one talking to me? This is awkward. It's because you got to step on next when you're in these spaces. Like, I am sorry, they are exclusive by nature. And if you are choosing to participate in exclusive institutions, then you're choosing to play the game and play it well, is all I can say. So just remember that. I'm not saying I am a proponent of any of those things, but I think oftentimes it does us a disservice when we're like, okay, join the links. And then you pull up in, raggedy stuff and you don't know how to public speak and you're not engaging and you don't know how to. It's not going to work, sis. It's not going to work. So I just wish someone told me that. So do with that what you will. Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. And I will say, yes, Grizel, if you are dressed down, trust me, the people are there are going to respect you, treat you differently, and engage with you differently. If you come with a Chanel, or the girls who walk in with a Chanel, Kelly, or Birkin, those are the women that everyone is trying to talk to. Sorry. Or if you're part of some sort of coveted institution, if you are married to someone rich, if you have an amazing job, if you are well known in society, if you come dressed down to the nines, people are going to be nicer to you in those spaces and they will engage with you differently. Once again, I'm just telling you, don't show up raggedy. Don't show up raggedy. Okay, be an interesting guest and come prepared. So if you are invited to a dinner and you are trying to be a dinner party guest, the pro tip that I have for you that will get everyone to gravitate towards you, come prepared with good questions. My favorite dinner party question, if you're seated at a table, one of my friends is she's on the board for School of American Ballet. She was on my live a while ago. And I have seen her move in some of these galas with some of the richest people in New York City. And she's such a great dinner party guest because she comes prepared with how to engage with these people. And she says her favorite question at a table is, if you could remove any historical figure from history, who would it be and why? And that just gets people going. And she says you also can't say Hitler or anyone who descended from Hitler. That just gets people going. You would be surprised. She said some people have said their wives, which is insane and crazy, but conversation for another day. Some people have said, Bob Marley, like whatever. People have these crazy answers and it gets the conversation. It becomes lively. So have good dinner party guests or questions before you're a guest. You want to be a good guest. The last things I'm going to hit on, a junior board. Junior board is the keys to the kingdom, y'all. If you are trying to completely change your social life, join a junior board. Junior boards, I'll explain what those are. There are arts and culture institutions in every major city, in every city probably. These are museums, these are dance or like arts. So for example, I'm thinking of like Dance Theater of Harlem, or I'm thinking of the Apollo or Alvin Ailey in New York. These are all massive institutions. And then there are also like special interest groups. So these are groups for like young people of color, whatever. These groups all have, so let's talk about the Lincoln Center. The Lincoln Center has a bunch of different organizations under the umbrella of the Lincoln Center. To be on the board of an organization under the Lincoln Center will cost you $2 to $20 million to be a part of that board, right? But the premise of being on a board is an incredibly prestigious and coveted thing, because now you're invited to special spaces. The people that you are likely sharing a junior board with, or sharing on the board with, are usually other people who can afford $2 to $20 million. So you are now, it's almost like an investment, because now you are rubbing shoulders with some of the most important people in your respective city or in the world. It is good for business. It is good for networking. It also helps you learn how to social smooth, all of that. Being on a board is a very, very coveted and aspirational thing. Now, most people cannot, especially if you're 40 or under, cannot afford $20 million. So what you can afford, maybe 200, is a junior board. So junior boards are for people who are 40 and under, looking to begin to invest in their philanthropic journey, looking to begin to invest in learning how to network, maybe building some leadership capabilities. And it's a great way to get involved in society and also to support organizations that you are excited about and to build relationships that are beneficial. So yes, you can get your company or work to sponsor it. So for example, I have been on the board of Apollo. it was, I think, $500 or $700, but your organization can match the donation. So if your organization has a matching component, I paid like $200 or $250, and then they matched the other $200 or $250. And I was immediately given access to, I think the group chat had like 500 young people in it who all lived in New York City, who are passionate about the arts. They would host events. Someone just put in the chat yesterday, like, who's going to Martha's Vineyard? So if you're traveling and going to some of these more exclusive places or places where you may not have a massive network in, that is sort of like a built-in network for you. So that is, to me, junior board, keys to the kingdom. I would say start off smaller, then go larger. So in New York, for example, you can join something like Alvin Ailey or the Apollo, where you can just pay the dues and you don't have to be intimately involved. If you are looking for more involvement, you can sit on like a steering committee or be head of fundraising. But there's 500 other people. Now you're just going to events, you're supporting the organization. You'll get like VIP backstage access. So I've been to the Apollo before, VIP backstage, where like maybe there's a networking reception for the donors. And then the junior board is also there. Then you can move into more like the Guggenheim or School of American Ballet or the Frick. Those organizations are significantly smaller, a little bit more expensive. Decide whatever speaks to you. That, to me, is the keys to the kingdom if you are on a junior board. I would also recommend going to one tentpole event a year. Tentpole is like Cannes, I think, is one of the best things you can invest in. Martha's Vineyard, F1, the Grammys, whatever that looks like. Go to one career conference a year. That is like an Afrotech, Ad Color, Culture Con, ColorCom. Join a junior board in your respective city. And then one gala should be a part of your social calendar. If you're in a city like Atlanta, if you're in a city like the Mayor's Ball is a really great gala, in a city like New York, School of American Ballet, Dance Theater of Harlem is one of the best galas I've been to, and Studio Museum of Harlem. Those, to me, are the premier galas in New York City. And then joining one society or members-only club. Now, all of my mentors or peers are usually a part of a society. And this can be, I'm a Delta, okay, sorors, but that can be one. That's not what I consider. That, to me, is more philanthropic oriented. So you can either be a part of a members club. In New York, we have Casa Cipriani, we have the Ned, we have Casa Cruz. I would say the Amman Club in New York is probably the premier, but it is also $200,000 a year if you're joining. But the Amman Club is the premier members-only club or members club. Obviously, we have Soho House, which I think is a great option. Members Club. There's another group that I love called Fortune and Forks. So Fortune, like Wheel of Fortune, and Forks, like what you eat with. They are like a virtual members-only club, specifically geared towards women. I think most of the women are in like media, entertainment, arts. And they will, like, let's say Art Basel is happening. They'll host events or give you tickets. So I love Fortune and Forks. If you are 30 and no, not even 30, 35 and under in media or entertainment, but I really think if you're like in your 20s, early 30s, highly, highly recommend joining Fortune and Forks. And then Society Club. These are organizations that are a little bit more difficult to get into. I'm not going to name all of them by name, but for example, if you're a mother, Jack and Jill would be a society club that I think folks should look into. Another society club, Leading Women Defined, started by Deborah Lee. She was one of the founders of BET. She has an organization specifically for young women between 25 and 35. The applications closed last week, unfortunately, but this is their second cohort, so be on the lookout for that next year. That is another place where you will be able to network with really important, fabulous people. All right, so we got through a lot today. Like I said, this live will be saved on my YouTube. Drop your questions, Leading Women Defined. Drop your questions in the chat. I'm going to go through the questions now. But a lot of this information can be found in my ebook, which is link in bio. Go ahead and follow me because I also do a lot of this information on my page. This will be uploaded onto my YouTube channel. Okay, if you got the email but didn't get the ebook, like 3 people have said that's happened to them. I can directly email you the ebook. It might be something where it's like a pop-up, a downloaded pop-up. And if you have like your pop-up blockers on, that might be the reason why. So if it, oh my gosh, not y'all not getting it. Oh my gosh, email me, just DM me, and I will just send the ebook to you immediately. Okay, so let me scroll up a little bit and get some of these questions for people who have asked. Do I recommend getting tattoos removed No, not necessarily. I think you should show up as your authentic self. My whole thing is arming yourself with information. I don't think anyone needs to modify per se who they are. They just need to have the information to be aware of consequences or to be aware of repercussions. So, I mean, there's plenty of people with tattoos, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But I do think perceptions are real, perceptions are valid, and you may have to do additional work to change what people's very unfortunately finicky perceptions of people with tattoos may be. But I don't think you need to change yourself and or just go into spaces that appreciate that. You don't need to self-silo or change who you are in order to fit into particular spaces. Go to spaces where that is celebrated. Or I like a girl who's a little polarizing. In my opinion, I like a girl who, when you have an immediate perception of her, she changes it almost instantly. So if you have tattoos and there's a perception around tattoos in that space, but then you also give something completely different, to me, that makes you even more interesting. So can we talk about hair, please? What you want to know about hair, girl? I'll tell you anything. What if work is different from your passion? Does that change based on who you talk to? If your work is different from your passion, first thing I would say is, that's real. I think a lot of people have work that is outside of your passion. I am a firm believer, though, that your job should be getting you to where you need to be. Ladies and gentlemen, your career should absolutely be propelling you. Your career, well, first and foremost, your career should be financing your lifestyle. To me, career is a bullet point of what you, like the larger through line of what you want to do. My job is really great I'm passionate about communities of color. I'm passionate about being public facing. I'm passionate about supporting young people, women, underrepresented and marginalized communities. My passion point is also my career. Do they always have to be one and the same? No, but your job should be propelling you, whether that's giving you visibility, whether that's giving you a network, whether that's giving you financial means to do what you're actually passionate about. Your job should not just be something that you do on the side. Your job needs to give you ROI in one way or another. Can I recommend a podcast? NPR Up First. I listen to that every morning. I used to love The Daily, but The Daily has been a little raggedy lately, especially when it came to our girl Kamala. Like, some of the comments they were making about her I don't like, but I used to love The Daily. Put on BBC and keep that on in your background. As I'm doing work and I'm not like paying attention, I will have BBC on in the background. I love BBC for fair and balanced news. I love Pod Save America for political news. And I also love Diary of a CEO for just like general self-development work. Yes, NPR, The Daily. Okay, all right. Let me scroll down and get some of these questions. HBCUs, child, let me tell you, had I known what I know now, I'm like, your girl would have been at Spelman. I would have been at Spelman. Social clubs, I recommend. I think I went through some of them, but let me pull it up because I think I actually have a list of some of the social clubs I recommend. But I think joining a junior board is probably one of the best things that you can do if you are interested. But let me see what I got for y'all. Okay. Let's see. I gotta go through all my notes. Oh, okay. Fortune and Forks, Leading Women Defined, Empower Her, CCNYC. Those are some groups I have listed here. The links is a little bit more senior in my opinion. Let's see, what else have I had? There's also one in Atlanta, that High Museum, Alliance Theater, that is in Atlanta, United Way, Urban League, and then for my men, 100 Black Men. Those are the ones I would recommend. If you are interested in your art collecting journey, I think y'all need better hobbies. I think that is a huge area of opportunity for a lot of us. Better hobbies, I think art collecting is one of the best hobbies that you can have because that is such an exclusive space. One, it adds texture to who you are. If you're able to like walk into a museum and talk about a piece of art, or walk into your home and there is art displayed on the walls and you can talk about the meaning of that art, and then you start doing like the art circuit, because there's a really big art circuit where there is a beautiful gala art circuit in Detroit, in Miami, of course, in New York, in Mexico City. That is where a lot of the movers and shakers are. Let me tell you, the art scene and the fashion scene. If this is obviously when you've got coin, and you can spend 10, 15, 30, $50,000 at one time. But starting off, there's a group called ISEDA. That's based in New York, but I think they might have locations or opportunities virtually or all over. That helps young people, specifically people of color, break into the art scene and just start to learn about art, learn what you like, what you don't like. But one of the most impressive skills, there's also another book that I think I just bought, How to Collect Art. It's on my mantle right here. That, just learning about art collecting and having that hobby, that being a sommelier, learning about wine, being able to talk about wine, and then learning about fashion. Because once I started working with a fashion stylist and really getting into the fashion, the amount of events that you get invited to, those are hobbies that have an ROI. Those are hobbies that will put you in exclusive spaces. So Dallas, write down social clubs in Dallas, sis. I'm so sorry. I've never even been to Dallas before. But I'll be on the lookout. Yes, I love Ashley. Tips for someone in their early 20s moving to New York City and aiming to get involved in groups and organizations. As I mentioned, you want to join a social club. So Fortune and Forks, you can join a members only club. You can get hobbies as well. What do you enjoy doing in your free time? And there are so many groups in New York City that you can join that can support that. If you enjoy playing tennis, there's amazing tennis clinics. I also use something called ClassPass, which allows you to take different classes in the city. So one day I'll be at boxing and then I'll make friends at boxing. Then the next day I'll be at tennis. There's also like dance classes. You'll make friends through working out. Joining a board is a great way to have like intentional community. So, if you're like at a Pilates class, like you might talk to someone and it might take you 3 months before you can have a real conversation. If you're on a junior board, you have to talk to your co-members. You're at events together, going on trips together. Maybe you're on a steering committee together. So that is a really great way. And some junior boards are really not, especially if you're in your early 20s, they're not overwhelming. So something like the Apollo, it's going to be 500 other people in there. You can just talk, chill, kick it with some people, get invited to a couple of events. And then if you're in your early 20s, sis, the main thing I can also recommend is focusing on your career. Like really making sure you have a robust set of friends who you're developing real and intentional friendships with, focusing on your career, and then maybe joining 1 or 2 junior boards is what I would recommend. I am always giving New York Junior League. I don't know a ton of people in Junior League. I know one person in it. I think it's a yes. Yes, you got to pay to be on a board. Oh, Griselle, talk about Junior League. I can introduce you to one of my homegirls who is in it, and she's in a leadership position, and she seems to really like it. Girls in Inc. New York City, too. Can we get to 25 likes? Yes, Sarah. Can we get to 25K? We've got to 25K likes. Let's keep the likes going. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you, Sarah. Girl, you're about to be my next moderator. Definitely want to expand your network. How do you get your job to sponsor it? Yes, companies will just do a match. That's like part of the... just met the ColorCom CEO last week at Jack and Jill. That's exactly right. Proximity. You need to be in the spaces and places. Galas in DC. I need to look that up because DC is a weird city to me. It's such a corporate weird city. I mean, there are a ton of galas. I can find out, but DC is a tricky one. It's so weird. It's because there's also not even a lot of members clubs in DC. It's a much more casual and government city. So even though it should have like a panache to it, it doesn't always hit the way that New York hits. But I'm going to find out for y'all. In the next live, I will definitely say the galas to attend in DC. I'm trying to remember if someone has told me. Oh, sorry, girl. I'm sorry if I went too fast. All of it will be in my ebook. Very valuable. Glad you found it valuable. On my YouTube and in my ebook. Yes, love that. Hey, Soror. Take notes. Don't worry. I'll do more lives. Boston. Sorry, girl. I'm from Boston. Meetup. I remember I used to do Meetup a lot when I was in Boston. And a lot of these national organizations, if you're in a sorority, in a fraternity, in Jack and Jill, those are the best places to go. Hey, sis. Oh, glad you love the ebook. Okay, Leading Women Defined. How do you get to the application of Leading Women Defined? Go on their website. It should be there. But like I said, the application is closed. It closed last Monday, so you need to reapply for next year. How to find mentors. This is a real tea about how to find mentors. Half of it is finding one. Half of it is being exceptional on your own. If you are talking about getting a mentor who is successful in their own right, they are viewing you, one, it needs to be a relationship, but it's also partially transactional. And I say that because they're viewing you like a stock. They're investing their time, they're investing their reputation to invest in you. They are going to invest in a stock that is already performing well. So if you are a Google, a blue chip stock, let's say, like Kellogg or whatever, they know, Coca-Cola, they know you've performed well, you've traditionally done well, and maybe you just need a little infusion of cash to really get you to where you need to be. So that is why doing the work on the front end, having a career that you are passionate about and that you are excelling in, already being in the places and spaces that they are, proximity. My cheat code is where you want your mentor to be, start attending those places. So Martha's Vineyard, Cannes, ColorCom, Ad Color, start attending those conferences, be there 2 or 3 times. The person who wrote my Leading Women Defined application, I don't even have that lady's phone number. She's amazing. She was an executive at BET, but I saw her in Cannes, I saw her in Martha's Vineyard, I would see her at Soho House, we had mutual friends, and we saw each other. So I followed her on Instagram, I would always message her, oh my God, I love this. And because of that proximity bias, she has, I don't even think she knew where I worked. She's an amazing senior level executive woman. But she wrote my application because she had enough currency about me to know this is a safe investment. She shares mutual friends. I know kind of what she does for work. She always looks well put together. She's in Martha's Vineyard. She's in Cannes. We literally went through customs together. When we got to France, when we got to Nice, we were on the same flight. This is a relatively safe investment. So that's why I say being proximate, being in those spaces, that is the key to getting a good mentor. Okay. Oh, child, I went all the way down to the... Whew. Do you have any top New York City junior boards? The Frick, Alvin Ailey, the Apollo, School of American Ballet, Dance Theater of Harlem. Those are the ones that I would recommend. Oh, I was also I used to be on Lower East Side Girls Club. Another one. Would you say it's hard to get into Jack and Jill? Yes, it is. Any advice on what to focus on when elevating your LinkedIn and revamping? Focus on a good profile picture. Go to a conference and speak at it. Honestly, even if you're not speaking at it, go up at the end when people are taking pictures. If there's a podium, if there's a microphone, take a picture of you speaking. Have that as the banner or have that as your profile pic. Have updated work experiences and a clear profile picture, updated work experiences, like a passion point of what you're passionate about. And honestly, those are really it. If you're job hunting, I would give you different advice. If you're job hunting, look for the job description of the job that you're looking for. Like, let's say you want to be a data analyst. Pull up the job description for data analyst and move some of those keywords that are in the job description into your actual LinkedIn profile, because as recruiters, you do something called a Boolean search term, which means that they're looking for specific search terms in people's LinkedIn resumes or LinkedIns. So I would just copy and paste. But generally, if you're like networking, you just want to have a good LinkedIn, I would say the organizations that you're a part of, I would say a good profile picture. I would say like a picture of you speaking, public speaking as like the banner, organizations that you're a part of, what you're passionate about, etc. Okay, let's see. Can you please talk about how weight plays a role in your ability to move into circles? I don't know if it does that much. I also don't know if I'm the best person. I know my zones of genius. I don't know if I'm the best person to talk about this. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we live in a society, and society has rules. And in that society, there are privileges that people can lean into or lean out of. I think coveted things in society will always net a bigger difference. I think this is the same conversation of like, can we talk about how being married versus being single plays into it? I think there are some married women who reap benefits by being married to someone successful or upwardly mobile, the way that single women will not. That doesn't prohibit single women from being very successful in these spaces simultaneously. I think everything just like can add or detract a couple points here or there, but there are plenty of women. I don't know if y'all know who, in New York City, we have someone named Baddie Smith. She is over 50, but she is probably the biggest, one of the biggest like social stars in New York City, like social life. She's at every gala, every ball, blah, blah, blah. And she doesn't necessarily always adhere to, you know, whatever we like traditionally think of like a young, you know, tiny, petite, maybe married to an investment banker sort of archetype that we think of when we think of these social circles. But she does that and does it flawlessly. She has immense confidence. She knows how to work her room. That to me matters more. Now you can make your time more or less difficult, but I don't necessarily know if one thing is prohibitive from stopping you. I genuinely don't believe that. Technically being single should be prohibitive, but there are plenty of single successful women who are in these spaces. So just have an immense amount of confidence, be amazing at what you do. If you are sickening in terms of how you look, in terms of the dress, that to me is more unimpeachable than anything else. If you come dressed down to the nines, I think that is like the biggest thing or the best thing that you can do. 32, no honey, I'm 32. Let's get into it now. This is actually the best time because you probably have a little bit more coin than you did in your 20s. You probably are a little bit smarter, further along in your career. In your 30s is the best time to get into it. Who is an example of a great social calendar? Can you ask that question again? I don't quite get it. That's real about mentors. Advice on protective hairstyles. I used to wear braids. The only thing I will say about hairstyles is it's not a hairstyle that you should be rocking consistently if you can't maintain it. Or if it's killing your hair too. If those wigs or weaves are eating out at your real hair, sis, it's not a protective style. Also have something that you can maintain on its own. So if your hair only looks good if you go to the hair salon, I don't think that's the hairstyle for you. It should be something that you can maintain on your own. If your hairstylist is booked and busy for a week and you don't have time and now you can't leave the house because of it, it's not the right hairstyle for you. Junior board social clubs in the Bay Area. Shoot, there's one that I know of. What is it? It's not called The Attic. It's called, hold on. Let me find social club stuff because now it's going to bother me if I don't. Now I have to find it. You know what? Let me come back to you because the Battery. The Battery is what it's called. That's the one that I know of that I think a lot of people go to. San Francisco is another weird city that I don't know what the social scene is like. I don't think a lot of people love the social scene, but the Battery is one that I have been to. How do you make time for all of these things? After work, I'm so lazy. I feel you, sis. I'm lazy too. Some days I just want to watch Love Island. I would also recommend like bucket out days. So something that I did when I was laid off, I was laid off for about 4 months, my last job. And I wanted that time to be really like rest and recuperation. I would have 2 pillars that I would focus on a week. And you can do this if you're working. I would say today is a successful day if I do one thing in the wellness pillar and one thing in the social pillar. So I would say in the wellness pillar, I'm going to go for a walk today. And I am going to call one of my close friends, or I'm going to volunteer at a junior board or a philanthropic event this week. So just bucket, if you are feeling lazy and overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I have to be on a junior board and I have to work out and I have to do this. Do have a theme for the week. This week's theme is wellness. So focus on wellness this week. Each day I'm going to walk 10,000 steps, or by the end of the week, I'm going to walk 40,000 steps by the end of the week. And I'm going to eat no added sugar during the week. And that is your theme for the week. Next week, the theme will be social calendar. So you'll say, okay, I'm going to apply for 2 junior boards and I'm going to find a mentor. I'm going to target a mentor, identify a mentor that I want to be proximate to. So, and then the next week, maybe you go back to wellness. And then make those habits cumulative. So now maybe you don't walk 10,000 steps every day. Maybe you're walking 5,000 to 7,000 steps every day and doing it. So just figure out what success looks like in each of those pillars and aim to accomplish one thing a day or one thing a week. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. I'm 34, girl. Don't worry. It's never too late. A lot of these girls are 40 plus in a lot of these spaces. How to find a stylist. I found my stylist. His name is Jeremiah James. He is amazing. Child, that's a story for another day. He was gifted to me by someone I was dating. One day we'll kiki about dating and relationships, but I'm not that girl. I'm not going to tell my business. But yeah, he was gifted to me by someone I was dating, and that was how I found Jeremiah. Now we still have a working relationship. The man is gone, but Jeremiah is still here. So that's how I found a stylist, but there are plenty of stylists. I would also say, as you're making your rounds in these social circles, if you're speaking on conferences, panels, events, a lot of these people who are speaking on conferences, panels, events have stylists. Not only do they have a stylist, they have a team. They have a makeup artist they always use that will sometimes travel with them. They will have a stylist. What a stylist is really great about is they will tell you your social calendar. You'll say, I'm going to speak at this conference. I'm going to Martha's Vineyard. I'm going to the south of France, and I have a friend's 40th birthday party. And they will pull looks for you for each of those events for the entire year. So that is what a stylist is really great on. And I think if you have really large moments that you know you're going to be photographed for, if you're speaking on a panel, speaking at a conference, highly, highly recommend you getting support or help or getting someone to outfit you for those things. Okay, my skin. Yes, honey, we can speak about my skin. I do nothing, and that's the key. When I did the most, that's when I had the most acne and irritation. If you are in your late 20s, early 30s, and you got acne out of nowhere, you might have hormonal acne. So I would definitely go to a doctor for that. Particularly if you get acne here, hormones. If you are getting fine bumps up here, you might have fungal, or maybe it's your hair gel or like hair products. If you have a lot of fine bumps up here, I'm not a doctor. What helped me was Finacea, which is an Finacea azelaic acid, which is azelaic acid. And then also Nizoral, which is an anti-dandruff shampoo. I washed my face with it. The small, fine bumps went away because it might be fungal. If you have general acne, my dermatologist and many, many people that I know, Accutane. Accutane, the side effects have been I don't want to say overstated, they're very real, but I think a lot of people are much more afraid to go on Accutane than you need to be. Once again, I am not a doctor. Consult your physician for all of this, but as someone who, I've never been on Accutane, but considered it, and I did not have a lot of acne. Even if you just get occasional acne, Accutane, I have heard, is one of the most studied drugs. It is incredibly safe, and you will reap benefits for a very long time. And sunscreen and retinol, those are the things that I will absolutely recommend. When is my next live? I do not know, honey. I'm trying my best. I'm going to try and do lives every other Sunday or something like that. Okay. What states are great for social climbing? We're not calling this social climbing. We're going to call it social optimization. New York City, LA, Miami. I mean, DC is great. There are a lot of cities that are great. Chicago is great. I would say nothing is like New York, though. New York, people really, really care. Like, it's very society in New York. Favorite footwear, formal every day. Favorite footwear, Stuart Weitzman, if you are trying to be a comfort girly. Formal, Tom Ford Lockheed, in my opinion. Every day, I wear sandals or sneakers to work, if I'm being honest. I used to be a heels girl to work, but my job is just not formal enough for it to make sense. I think Stuart Weitzman is good for comfort. A Jimmy Choo, the Hangisi, the quintessential shoe. Honestly, Schutz, do you know that brand, SCHUTS? They have a lot of really good affordable shoes as well. I have quite a few pairs of shoes from there. So it doesn't always do high and low, mix and match. I have one good formal shoe, which is a Tom Ford Lock heel, and a couple like YSL shoes and a few other brands. But honestly, I wear my Schutz whatever on a day-to-day basis if I'm like going to work and stuff. Martha's Vineyard next week. Oh, honey, have a time. Oh, there's so many good events. Leading Women Define has an event, but it's invite only. Dan Slater of Harlem also has a gala, invite only. There's a strip called The Circuit There's a club there. Shoot, what is it called? Flavors. That's where a lot of the people of color go. There's also the Polar Plunge. That's where a lot of people will get together like 6 o'clock in the morning and jump into the ocean. Kamala Harris is having a fundraiser out there, I believe, during next week. There's also the CDO, Chief Diversity Officer Summit, and then also Inkwell. If you just look up like Inkwell Martha's Vineyard on Instagram, they are also hosting a ton of events. So those are the things that I would recommend. Jimmy C's for Italian food. And Nancy's. That's like the hangout spot. Wait, no Kiki and dating in New York City. No, honey. The only thing I can say, the only advice, one day I'll give y'all the real tea on dating. The only thing I will tell you is that a lot of y'all focus a lot too much on being pretty, and that is your handicap in dating. A lot of y'all are mean in dating. A lot of y'all are a little entitled or spoiled in dating. I'm gonna tell y'all, one day I'm gonna tell y'all my stories. If you really want to win in dating, be attractive, yes, but go on your Explore page right now. How many beautiful women are on your Explore page? The way to win in dating is by being charismatic, is by being kind and reciprocal, is by my pro tip. I learned this from the dating coach Anwar, who I love. He always says, get them a small gift on the third date. I always get them a small gift on the third date. That's the keys to the kingdom. Be kind, be nice, be reciprocal. You all are listening to too much poor advice from people who don't have the outcomes y'all even want. I love Shira 7 now and again, but you have to take like 70% of what she's saying seriously. Like as someone who loves her content, this whole like, you didn't take me here. You're not going to win in dating if you're like super mean and entitled. I'm sorry, because being pretty is not enough. You need to be smart. You need to be nice. You need to be kind. You need to be reciprocal. You need to be thoughtful. Would you want to date you? So just being beautiful is not enough, honeys. Being beautiful is not enough. Being down to earth. A lot of these men, particularly if you're thinking about men who are now in these like upwardly mobile social circles, if we're talking about specifically men of color, they didn't necessarily, few of them grew up like that, but a lot of them didn't. And the last thing that they want is a woman who is like, oh, if you're not buying me a Birkin bag on date 2, they're like, that's not sustainable. That's not how I grew up. And they will do those things for you in the future. But honestly, sometimes on a second date, I'm like, let's go for a walk. Like, let's play pool. Let's play tennis. Let's go play ping pong. That will set you apart more and really set you up for the long-term win than being the girl who's like, take me shopping. Because they encounter that girl every day. That does not make you cute, unique, or special. I'm telling you, don't do that. And honestly, the best relationship advice I can give you is become obsessed with yourself. I don't do relationship advice because I think it's stupid. I don't think it's stupid because I love people like Coach Anwar is incredible dating advice. But what I love about Anwar is that he focuses more on yourself than like attracting a man. There is nothing more repelling than someone who spends all of their energy thinking about how to acquire. Let me tell you, if you're obsessed with yourself, people around you have no option but to be obsessed with you. If you decenter men from your life and think about how to become hotter, smarter, richer, more interesting, more dynamic, that is when you are going to find your person. If you spend all of your time thinking about like sprinkle content and how to get a man, it's never going to come because you are repelling that. You are obsessed with that. You are fixating on that. I never talk about dating, maybe 3 videos in the hundreds of videos that I have, because I think it is a byproduct. It is not a focus. If you are obsessed with yourself, if you are obsessed with becoming the best, the quality of people who are attracted to you, the spaces that you'll be in, 10x, so now you're in rooms with better quality men. Like now when he starts acting insane, you're like, I don't care because I'm working on a business and I'm traveling to the south of France next week, and it will change everything. Stop focusing on men. Do not center men and work on being the best version of yourself. And I'm telling you, that's when things will come together. So I don't have dating advice on dating rich men in Brooklyn. My advice to you is become the rich man in Brooklyn, and then you'll figure out where the rich men are. Okay, the last question that I'll ask is social clubs in San Vicente bungalows, Soho House. I believe there's also a Casa Cruz out there, but San Vicente bungalows is one of my favorites. The Soho House is out there, also one of my favorites. Don't forget, a lot of this information is in my bio. Click the link of my ebook. Ladies who never got the ebook, email me at hellojodyt.com or gmail.com. My email is in my bio. But click the link in my bio for the free ebook if you didn't have the chance to take notes, a lot of this. And I also want to create more offerings. I want to start doing a newsletter. I want to start offering more of this information. This is all the information that I wish I had in my 20s and 30s. So I am sharing it with you all. So have an amazing Sunday. I love y'all. And I will be back on live soon. This is actually really fun. So I'll be back. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.